I've never told anyone this before, but I have a confession to make. I am a liar. I lie all the time, almost compulsively. It's not that I enjoy lying. We didn't have a lot of money, so when I was around 12 years old, I decided that I wanted to run away from home and join the circus. That meant I had to tell my parents that I could walk on stilts. The problem was that I couldn't, but I really wanted to go to the circus. I needed clients, of course, so I would tell potential clients that I worked for big companies like Nike and Sony. When I actually didn't, they believed me and hired me anyway. I remember that one time I pitched an idea to a potential client and he told me that he liked it, but he said that he needed something more spectacular. I panicked and added some unnecessary effects to my presentation like confetti, fireworks, and a spotlight. She would just tell me that I shouldn't lie and then she would drop it. That drove me crazy. I didn't want her to confront me. I wanted her to call me out on my lies. Then I would know where I went wrong and I could adjust my stories. She never did, though. She just kept telling me that I shouldn't lie. Thanks for watching. He loved it and hired me. I delivered the project on time and he was very happy with it. I said that I could lie to her because I loved her. She stopped talking to me. For the rest of the day, I walked around our house and waited for her to come back to me. She never did. She slept in a different room that night, and the next morning she told me that we needed to talk. I told her that there was nothing to talk about. She left the house. I didn't know where she went, but I didn't care. I thought that she would come back to me eventually. She didn't. She stayed away for 2 days, but I doubt that he would have hired me if he hadn't seen those extra effects. I told her that I loved her, that I would change, that I would tell the truth. She didn't listen. She filed for divorce. I was devastated. I knew that I deserved it, but I didn't know that she would actually follow through with it. So I lied and said that I could, and they believed me. I'm barely scraping by, and every day I regret the choices that I made. I miss my wife every single day. I'll never forget the pain that I caused her. If I could go back in time, I would tell the truth. I would tell her that I didn't love her. I would tell her that I wasn't ready for a family. I would tell her that I wasn't ready for a real relationship. I would tell her anything that would spare her the pain that I caused her. But I can't go back in time. All I can do is move forward. And that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to pick up the pieces of my life and start over. It's gonna be difficult, but I know that I can do it. I'm a survivor. She is the only person that I've ever told a lie to, and she called me out on it. And I was in love with her. I told her that I had never stopped loving her, and she married me. I was so happy. I finally found someone that I love and who loved me back. Met her when I was 27. I was immediately smitten. She would cook dinner and I would criticize her cooking. She would buy me a new shirt and I would tell her that it didn't fit me well. I was a jerk, but she was always nice to me. Then I had an idea. I would compliment her. I told her that she looked beautiful, that I loved her, that I appreciated her. At first, she didn't say anything. She just kept doing her thing. Then she started to cry. I felt terrible. I had hurt her, but I didn't stop. I just kept lying. I lied to her all the time. I told her that I loved her when I didn't. I told her that I appreciated her when I didn't. I told her that I wanted to have kids when I didn't. I told her that I wanted to move to another city when I didn't. I told her that I quit smoking when I didn't. Basically, I told her anything that I thought would benefit me and hoped that she would believe me. She did most of the time, but sometimes she called me out on my lies. She was kind, funny, and beautiful. I thought to myself, I have to marry this woman. There was just one problem. I didn't really love her. I liked her a lot, but I wasn't in love with her. I knew that I shouldn't marry someone if I wasn't in love with them. I didn't want to waste her time, so I told her that I wasn't in the right place in my life. She was heartbroken, but she understood. We remained friends for a while, but eventually she moved on and started seeing someone else. I was sad that I lost her, but I was also relieved that I had done the right thing. When they saw me walking on stilts at the circus, they were very impressed. They had no idea that I had lied to them. I felt bad about that, but also very pleased with myself. I knew that I could get away with anything. In fact, it makes me feel uncomfortable. But I do it anyway. I ended up going to art school, but only because I told my parents that I got accepted when I actually hadn't applied yet. I learned how to build stories around my lies, and I made them sound very convincing. I used that ability to get dates dates in high school. I would tell these girls that I was a model or an actor and they would believe me. Sometimes I would even go to a movie with them and afterwards we would go to my car and they would see my surfboard or my scuba gear and think that I was actually a model or an actor. Occasionally, I would even take them home and meet their parents and tell them that I was a model or an actor, and they would believe me. I had a couple of long-term girlfriends that way. They broke up with me eventually, though, probably because I'm a liar. I just knew that I wanted to study graphic design, so I told them that I got accepted and then I did apply and got it. They never found out, but I often wondered if it would have been better if I had been rejected by that school. I might not have dropped out after the first year and I might have finished my studies. But obviously, I can't know for sure. I know that I can't stop because I would rather be believed for telling a lie than not believed for telling the truth. I'm not proud of it, but that's how it is. I guess that my compulsive lying started when I was still quite young. I grew up in a small town. There wasn't much to do there. That sort of continued throughout my life. I started telling lies, but I do know that I used them to get what I wanted. I became really good at it. I didn't stop lying. In fact, I became a graphic designer and I opened my own studio. But things changed when I met my wife. About 2 years later, I met her again. She was still beautiful, but now she was also interesting and funny and smart. For a while, our relationship was great. Then I got bored. The worst thing was that she never confronted me about them. Then one day I had enough. I told her that she was overreacting. When she came back, she told me that she wanted a divorce. I begged her not to do that. It took us 2 years to finalize our divorce. I had to sell my house. I moved into a small apartment. This story was submitted to a writing competition with the prompt "My Biggest Regret." Want to submit your story? Click